It looks like spring in the Treasure Valley, but it's actually mid-December and the conclusion of the non-conference schedule for Boise State University as the Broncos host the Southern Utah Thunderbirds. Welcome inside ExtraMile Arena with my broadcast partner, Kim Bridges, former Boise State standout and longtime Boise High School coach. I am Mark Snyder. And Kim, when you look at this matchup, the non-conference matchup between Boise State and Southern Utah, when you look at the tail of the tape, this Thunderbirds team knows how to light it up. They're averaging 81 points a game. Both teams outstanding from beyond the arc. And a big key, I think, is going to be Boise State have to go up against a team in Southern Utah that out-rebounds their opponents by 12 a contest.
That's exactly right. The rebounding is going to be huge for the Broncos this game. They have to keep some of these undersized, tough kids off the boards because that's where they make their money.
Southern Utah was picked to finish last in the WAC, but they are an early season surprise at 7-2. And a big reason, JC transfer Brooklyn Feely averaging over 11 points and nearly 9 rebounds a game.
Feely is just a prolific scorer. She sets all sorts of rebounding and scoring records at Umpqua Community College, where she was previously, in Roseburg, Oregon. She also was named the NWAC Baden Player of the Year for 2 years in a row, so she's definitely lifted the Thunderbirds this year.
16 points and 14 rebounds and lost at Colorado State the last time out. For Boise State, they are also coming off of a loss Wednesday night at Utah. Senior guard Maya Hansen has been on a roll, however, scoring in double figures in the last 3 games.
Hansen's best known for dishing the ball. She averages 5 assists a game, which leads the Mountain West right now, having 50 total. But at Utah, she had to really get her offense going as well. So she was 4-6 beyond the arc, notching some important wins for the Broncos behind the 3.
Boise State has struggled in the early going in their last couple of road games. They hope to reverse that here against Southern Utah on a floor where they have been very successful. 21 straight non-conference wins, looking to make it 22 in a row when they take on the Southern Utah Thunderbirds. We'll meet the starting lineups and tip this afternoon's game after we take this timeout. Boise State being introduced in their orange uniforms this afternoon as the Broncos taking on the Southern Utah Thunderbirds. Tatum Thompson there, Danny Bays, Libby Hutton, Maya Hansen, and Natalie Pasco, the starting 5 for Boise State, coming in with a record of 8-2, both losses on the road to Big 12 teams, Colorado and Utah. Head coach Gordy Presnell in his 21st season for Boise State. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah at 7-2 out of the Western Athletic Conference, and their 8th-year head coach Tracy Mason. Southern Utah lines up this way: Courtney Doman, Sierra Chambers, Brooklyn Feely, who we featured in our pregame coverage, Devin Kiernan, and Ava Urich on the floor for the visitors in their black uniforms trimmed in red. Our officials for this afternoon's game, our referee is Darren Kerchesnik, and our other officials, Ashley Clark and Ike Jesse. About set to go. Should be a good test for Boise State, Kim, a Southern Utah team that surprised a lot of folks off to a strong start. Boise State looking to right the ship after the loss at Utah.
You know, we talked about Southern Utah. They really bored hard, so that's going to be a huge point of emphasis for Boise State. But they finished so well at the free throw line. Sierra Chambers, number 3, currently holds the nation's longest streak of made free throws, so we're hoping for an announcer's curse by you, Mark, to see if we can change that streak.
Broncos with the opening possession. Natalie Pasco guarded out there by Courtney Doman. Gets the ball over to Thompson, who struggled in the game against Utah. The Utes really locked her down. Hutton, nice pass out to Pasco for 3. Good ball movement to spot the open shooter.
Great ball movement, great feed by Libby there. That was a good attack to the paint, and then you do not want to leave Natalie Pasco open outside. That's definitely for sure.
Feely goes inside and scores. She averaged 22 points and 13 rebounds a game with 24 double-doubles last year at Umpqua Community College. Tatum Thompson inside for two.
You know, those seniors make the easy give and go look so great. Nice feed by Danny, good finish by Tatum.
Feely outside, guarded there by Hutton. Gets it over to Kiernan. Down low again for Feely. Good defense that time by Hutton, and Tatum Thompson comes away with the basketball.
That was well done by Libby, not fouling in that situation. Again, Feely wants contact. She's going to try for contact every single time, try to get that three-point play, or just get to the foul line.
Chambers. They get it down low to Urich. Outside, Kiernan. And they swing it back to Chambers. She'll drive the lane, step back. Almost traveled, but kept the foot down. 8 on the shot clock. The floater in the lane is just short, but she gets her own rebound. And a reset of the clock. Nice move by Chambers. Opens some space and hits the jumper.
You know, Chambers, we saw high school teammates guarding one another out there. So Pascal was matched on Chambers, and Chambers got the best of that possession. But she is a terrific player for the Thunderbirds.
From Danville, California, San Ramon Valley High School. This is the 10th all-time meeting, in Boise State has the series lead. The last time they played was back in 2018, and Boise State beat Southern Utah. Of course, Southern Utah started out as a Division II school, so their D1 history is not nearly as long as some of the other opponents Boise State plays. Outside for Kiernan's long-range jumper, no, but Urich gets the offensive rebound but can't get it to drop. Hansen quickly to Pasco. Natalie outside, Thompson makes the move, drives, takes contact and scores.
Huge finish by Thompson there, and a great job with body control. I think Urich got a pretty good tap on her, but that was well done to keep her composure and keep that finish.
Feely backing in on Hansen. Excuse me, on Hutton. And here comes Pasco. And she is going to be called for travel under some good defensive pressure. And the turnover gives the ball back to the Thunderbirds. Watch this one again, under the pressure, and there's the sliding of the foot. Broncos starting out 3 of 4 from the field in the early going.
That was good defense by Doman. I think she recognized that the spin move was coming, and she jumped to that other shoulder and forced Natalie to get that treble.
Thompson overplaying the pass, and it goes out of bounds. We take a look at Tracy Mason in her 8th season as the head coach. Coach of the year in the WAC in 22-23.
Coach Mason has just found success everywhere she's gone. Previous to being the head coach of Southern Utah, she was a player at St. Mary's. She was a longtime assistant at St. Mary's for 12 years. And if you look at her coaching staff, a lot of them are coming from St. Mary's. So she was able to keep that staff intact and has just found a way to get her teams to winning seasons year after year.
Thompson with the defensive play. Now she gets the pass down low, and the and one opportunity. Hansen with the nice look on the bounce pass, and Feely with the foul. Thompson to the line.
Great feed by Maya, and great finish, and again, good body control by Thompson.
Feely with her first, team's first. Tatum Thompson, preseason player of the year in the Mountain West Conference, averaging almost 15.5 points a game. At 26 earlier this year against UC Davis, her season best. And she converts. And the Bronco lead is 6. This is Chambers on the handoff to Urich. And then Feely. They work the perimeter. Kiernan out of Orange, California's Modern Day High School. One of the all-time high school powerhouse programs. Urich. They play a lot of perimeter passing, down to 4 on the shot clock. Ball knocked free in the lane. Feely stays with it, and there's going to be a shot clock violation. Chambers rather in traffic, and good sort of swarming defense by Boise State.
That was a good defensive stand by the Broncos. A lot of ball on the floor, second chance opportunities, tippy-tappy.
Broncos doing a good job not to foul. Now here's Hutton, low post against Feely. Spins up, scores.
Hey, well done, Livy. Nice job did a little fake, getting her body movement to sway a little bit. Feely bought the fake, and that was a good finish by Libby. Excited to see her get some points early.
Doman drives. The floater doesn't go. She chases the rebound down in the far corner, though. And a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Feely back to the basket. Gets the return pass on Hutton. Spins up and under. No. Rebound pinballed around before it comes down to Urich, and she scores.
That's already the third offensive rebound for Southern Utah. You know, one of those was just a bounce going the wrong way, but that is definitely something, a point of emphasis that the Broncos have to do better with this game.
Foul on the Thunderbirds. Ava Urich with the foul out of Burlingame, California, the 6-foot junior. This is her 70th career game for Southern Utah and her 66th career start. Maya Hansen will sit, and Boise State's first sub off the bench is freshman guard Morgan Maldonado from Anchorage, Alaska, as Tatum Thompson hits the first. She's now got 8.
Tatum currently ranks number 4 in scoring in the Mountain West with just over 15 a game. So 8 points in that first quarter is a great start for her.
Second one spins out. And Urich guarded out there by Danny Bays on the mismatch. And Bays blocks the shot. It'll be out of bounds to Southern Utah, but Danny Bays at 5'11" gets Urich down low. The block out of play, and Boise State with the 13-6 lead as Tatum Thompson leads the way with 8 for the Broncos. Boise State with the early lead, 13-6. Broncos this year averaging 72.5 points a game, but their offensive efficiency puts them highly ranked in the 363 teams in the NCAA. And Kim, can you give us a primer on what the offensive efficiency means?
I mean, basically what it boils down to, it sounds really fancy, but it's just how often and how frequently you are scoring on your offensive possessions. So, you know, as a coach, you definitely want to look at how many possessions you're getting a game, and you want to score on those more often than you don't.
Hutton with great defense on Feely. And Maldonado quickly into the forecourt. Thank you for that quick tutorial. Outside to Hutton. Libby gets it to Danny Bays, who gets the screen from Hutton and takes it herself. Oh, and it gets the friendly bounce.
Good finish by Danny. I'm excited to see the ball go through the hoop for her early. She had a tough game at Utah. It was not for a lack of effort, but she definitely did not see the ball fall like she normally does.
0 for 8 against the Utes, but give credit to Utah. They really put the clamps on her as well. They knew who they had to guard, and they really guarded Thompson and Bays. The Broncos in a zone. The ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Southern Utah. Thought for sure they were going to get a hip check foul on Boise State, but none coming as we watch this one again. A lot of contact, and the ball rolled out of bounds.
That almost looked like it was off of Doman.
They're not going to...
No twirl on the appeal for that one.
Nope. No coach's challenge, no appeal. Inbounds pass comes out to Feely. Corner to Chambers. 2 on the shot clock. And she does not get it off, but they're going to call a foul on Libby Hutton as that shot was released. And now we'll have to watch it again. She did get her across the arm. A good call by Ike Jesse.
She definitely got her across the arm. That's one of those things that just crushes you as a coach. You think, boy, we've played possession defense this entire time, and then just bail them out at the very end. I said this earlier in the open, but Chambers is not someone you want to put to the foul line.
Right.
She's actually shooting 92% from the foul line and has the nation's longest winning streak. Here you go, Mark. You got to do it.
Announcer's jinx. Not this time.
Not this time. Not this time.
Well, she scored in double figures in 7 of 9 games and had 28 against New Mexico State. So she knows how to fill it up out of Danville, California. Again, the same school as Natalie Pasco for Boise State. Bronco lead is 7. They go down low. Thompson has it poked away, and Doman with the basketball. This is Chambers, the sophomore. Corner for 3. Count it. by Denver Anderson, now in the game from Mount Zion, Illinois. Holds her high school scoring record with 39 in a game, so, she can fill it up. Thompson spins in the lane, throws up an air ball, a lot of contact, no foul.
That looked like about the same amount of contact that the official called just on the other end with Libby, so unfortunate for the Broncos there.
Doman outside. This is Kiernan, and there's a foul called on the Broncos. They're going to get Danny Bays with the foul. We check this one again. Bays on the double team from the weak side gets called for it. She will sit. Ashley Banks, somebody you know well, coming in for Southern Utah out of Boise High School. You coached her for her career, so tell us about lucky number 13 for the Thunderbirds.
So excited to have Ashley back in town. Her team actually practiced at Boise High yesterday, so it was good visiting with her. And she's got a big rooting section here today, so love seeing her and her journey through college. She's had a great time at Southern Utah.
Urich shuffles the feet, turns the ball over. Gordy Presnell, 5th most wins among active Division I coaches. His all-time record, 777 and 385. That's a lot of basketball he's
And that doesn't even include his Division II record, which was very impressive at Seattle Pacific previous to being here at Boise State.
Kenna Garza probably battled Banks in high school, and she scores,
some summer opportunities, different classification, but Pocatello versus Boise.
A lot of the 4A schools would schedule up and play a non-conference 5A school back in the day when that was the classification. There's an and one opportunity for Doman out of Crane, Oregon. And if you hear the large cheer that came up from the arena as Courtney Doman, the 5'10 sophomore, her high school team in Crane, Oregon, a small town of 158 people, was 101-3 with three state titles.
And she was named Player of the Year back-to-back with 2 of those titles. But, you talked about the rooting section. There is a big sea of red up there in the stands. And we joked before we started the broadcast that perhaps a quarter of the town drove over. It's just southeast of Burns, Oregon, but they came over to support their hometown hero.
182-mile trip. The weather was good, so that made it pleasurable. This is Southern Utah's possession on the held ball. Doman in the corner, created some space but didn't shoot, gets it down the Banks. Ashley spins on Garza and it curls over the rim.
Nice move by Ashley, that dribble to the middle, a little bit of a lean and solid finish through contact. I think Garza did a good job not picking up a foul there, but making her shoot through and over her.
And just like that, it's a 2-point game as Southern Utah gets the ball on the travel. Garza shuffles the feet.
It's too bad because Kenna was looking to kick out to Nat, and that actually was going down.
Actually, they got Pasco with the turnover. I saw Garza with the ball.
I think that should have been Garza's turnover.
I thought so too.
Yeah, she was the travel.
Now they did change it. Good. A chance to tie or take the lead for the Thunderbirds as Urich on the baseline kicks it out to Chambers. We approach a minute in the quarter. Chambers, and she travels.
I think she got away with one earlier in the first quarter, but nice job by Morgan to keep her feet, and that time just too much with the movement of the feet for Chambers.
Danny Bays checks back in for Natalie Pasco for Boise State. It's Thompson, Hansen, Maldonado, Garza, and Bays, the 5 on the floor in orange. Danny Bays from the corner.
Danny Bays doing Danny Bays things. Again, similar to what I said about Pasco, you do not want to leave Danny Bays open in any regard if you are the opposing team.
Doman on the cut, gets it back out to Urich, back out to Doman, swings it to Chambers. Her shot is blocked by Thompson. Almost looked like Chambers was the last one to touch it after the block.
I agree. I thought the same thing. I was excited to see this replay. It's hard to tell.
From that angle, it's tough to tell, but from our angle, it certainly looked like that was the case. Inbounds pass knocked away from Anderson. but a recovery and a bucket for Ashley Banks, the 6'5" senior. 84th game at Southern Utah in her career.
And I misspoke earlier on the number of offensive rebounds. I think my internet had frozen for me right now. Southern Utah is really hurting. They're hurting the Broncos on the offensive boards. I believe I have them for 12 rebounds total.
I've got 8 offensive
8
rebounds.
offensive rebounds.
And Boise State, according to the stats we're looking at as they get the turnover, just 4 rebounds and none on the offensive glass. And again, this Southern Utah team out-rebounds their opponents by over 12 boards a game. They will hit the glass hard, and they're doing so right there as the first quarter comes to an end. And it's a close one as we expected. The 7-2 Thunderbirds and the 8-2 Broncos locked up in a good one. And we will have the second quarter as Danny Bays hits the triple. She's got 5. We're right back. Welcome back to ExtraMile Arena. Boise State up by 3 in their last game against Utah. Broncos are pretty good from the three-point line, Kim, but it was the two-point shots where they struggled.
Exactly. If you took a look at their shot chart, they were doing well from 3. Utah was doing even better from 3, if you can believe that. They got very hot, but they didn't do a very good job from that mid-range and close-up. So that's something the Broncos have to spread those shots around.
Maya Hansen, Natalie Pasco, Tatum Thompson, Danny Bays, Libby Hutton, the original 5 starters back on the floor for the Broncos. Hutton goes up strong. That one way off the mark, and the rebound to Urich.
And that was a good defensive possession by Ashley Banks. Did a great job moving her feet, not fouling, and making Libby having to shoot over her. So that's a tough, tough match. Banks is 6'5", Libby's, I think, 6 foot flat.
Urich in the paint, gets it to Banks, working on the baseline, rolls over a defender. Hutton, no foul called, and then they're going to get a foul on Boise State for an undercut. I believe that's going to be Hutton, I think.
And I do think Banks got away with a travel.
The foul's going to be called against Southern Utah.
I think she got away with a travel right
down
there.
And then
Feely
is going to be called for the foul. And that is her second personal foul, so she will take a seat.
You know, in a couple of the games that Southern Utah has struggled, Feely can be foul prone. So getting her in foul trouble early is another recipe for success for the Broncos.
Pasco catch fire hits on another assist from Maya Hansen.
You know, Urich was in her face, and that did not matter. That's what I love about Natalie Pasco is she does not take more than a second. When she catches that ball, she knows that she's going to go ahead and shoot it.
Pasco with 6. All alone underneath Chambers, an easy 2. Somebody lost track of Sierra Chambers.
That's a called set right there, and pretty sure that was something that they would have worked on in practice. But, you know, you don't talk on those back picks, and it's an embarrassing one that they're going to definitely talk about at halftime.
Thompson in the lane has it blocked by Banks.
Again, another good defensive possession for Banks. Just really walled up, kept her hands high, didn't allow the officials to bail out the jump shooter.
Outside Chambers. Tough catch for Anderson. Underneath, the shot missed, though, by Urich. Broncos look to run. Hansen guns the pass to Thompson. Mid-range jumper just off the mark.
Tatum usually makes those. She's very consistent from that mid-range. Just unfortunate that one didn't fall.
Back the other way, the Thunderbirds. Chambers outside Urich. Swings it cross court to Chambers, and it's going to be out of bounds to the Broncos on another turnover, number 7, committed by Southern Utah. And for the first time today, we are going to see Mason Borcherding check in, another one of these freshmen, this one out of Parker, Colorado. 6'1", as you can see. We talked about the Thunderbirds' offensive or rebounding prowess, out-rebounding their opponents by nearly 12 a game. Off the bench, the shot, that's Stedman, not my mistake. That's Stedman with the shot off the bench. Josie Stedman, the senior from Blackfoot, Idaho.
Josie hit 2 big threes against Utah. She shoots it with a high tick. Speaking of hitting big threes, Maya Hansen I mentioned in the pregame that she was 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, just knocking down another one there for the Broncos on that second chance opportunity.
Her first points of the game, and then answering right back is Denver Anderson. For the Thunderbirds, it's a 5-point Boise State lead, 3 minutes into this quarter. You see the rebounding numbers there where Southern Utah dominating on the glass. But the Broncos shooting over 56%. There are not a lot of rebounds to be had.
There's always some. There's always some, Mark.
Outside, Hutton. Good decision to take the drive and score.
Great decision. Hutton definitely has a step in terms of quickness on Banks. A little bit too close to the closeout there by Ashley.
4 for Libby. Tough shot by Urich is wild, but Banks with the offensive glass in the putback.
Banks is having herself a day. I mean, she's already up to 6 points right now. Again, the hometown fans really like it.
Pasco under the basket gets it out to Bays. Bays to the baseline. They're going to call a reach foul on Courtney Doman. But Banks already 2 of 3 from the field. Credit for I think their stat computer is having some issues. Yeah,
I think it's the internet actually.
But the internet is a little wonky because
3 of 4 from the field is what I have here. I went to hotspot. We no longer are using Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We'll try to update this as Hansen swings it to the right side, comes back to the middle. Pasco, quick catch and release.
That's so tough. You know, Natalie on that one, not only did she catch and shoot immediately, but she was actually leaning a little bit to her right. So to have the body control to continue to get that finish was really impressive.
Trying to answer back the other way is Kiernan, and the rebound pulled down by the Broncos. Pasco ahead to Thompson, spins in the lane, and they're going to call the offensive foul on Tatum Thompson.
Oh, I would love to see that replay. Gentlemen in the booth, if we could do that. Yeah, no.
Definitely Kiernan was moving.
I have a strong disagreement with that one. I would like to visit with Ike at halftime.
Yes. Bronco lead 31-23. So we approach 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Southern Utah in black with the basketball. Doman spins off the window, doesn't get it, and the rebound pulled down by Boise State. Emily Howard, the 6'5" redshirt junior. They get it to Howard down low. She has height over Olivia Malafu, but the shot doesn't go.
Malafu did a good job of pushing Howard off of the block. And again, as an undersized post player, that's what you want to do. Howard needs to work harder to get the spot that she desires on the block.
In the lane, Urich, wild shot, and Howard with the rebound.
Oh, great up pass by Maya Hansen. And an excellent run by Tatum Thompson. That's just fun basketball.
Tatum Thompson, the recipient of that dime, and the Bronco lead balloons to 10. Boise State turning up the defensive intensity as Chambers forced to bring it back out. Then lofts it up and draws the foul. And we will take a timeout as the foul is called on Boise State. Danny Bays with the whistle. And we watch this run again. Natalie Pasco from the corner. She's got 9. Broncos up 10. Well, I'm just going to turn it over to my broadcast partner, Kim Bridges, who knows number 13 in black very well, Ashley Banks from Boise, Idaho, and Boise High School. Talk about her game so far today.
I'm so proud of Ashley. She has worked her tail off down there at Southern Utah, got that Division I offer coming out of high school, and just worked really hard to modify her body and to bring herself to a position where she can be effective for her team. I think she started a handful of games last year. I think this year they decided to go a little bit smaller with the starting lineup, but that hasn't deterred her. She's like, whatever my team needs, and she's having a game today. She's doing a great job, has had some big defensive stops for the Thunderbirds, as well as putting the ball in the hole. So I'm really, really proud of Ashley.
Well, Chambers now with 38 free throws in a row, and make it 39.
Automatic.
The Bronco lead is down to 8 as Maya Hansen hands it off to Natalie Pasco. High post to Howard. Emily finally gets it back to Pasco. Over to Izzy Harms now in the game out of Eugene, Oregon's Willamette High School. 8 on the shot clock. Hansen, long range, halfway in, but drops out. And then a foul against Southern Utah on the rebound as Thompson picks herself off the floor. Coaching staff of Boise State was telling us this week that their starting 5 is pretty well set, but it's 6, 7, and 8 as Cordy Presnell and staff trying to find the right substitution patterns to bring people off the bench. So it's a little bit of experimenting here with Harms and Howard in the lineup.
And part of that comes with such a disparity. We have a lot of seniors and a lot of freshmen. So who's going to be successful on any given night? And once you get more consistency, you're going to get more playtime. So I think some of the freshmen are starting to recognize that, starting to maybe be a little bit more wise with their shot selection.
Howard does not get it off in time. Good defensive possession for Southern Utah. Boise State not able to find a good offensive rhythm. And turns it over for the 5th time this afternoon.
Again, Emily Howard has the size advantage over Southern Utah with the current lineup they have in there right now. But she's getting pushed off the block, which is making things a lot more difficult for her.
Doman in the paint with the runner.
It's a pretty give and go. Great finish by Doman and good feed by her teammate, Malafi.
Doman with 4. Thompson, hands behind her to Harms. Izzy on the baseline, cut off there. Tries a wild shot, ill-advised, and it comes down into the hands of Morgan Triguero, now in the game for Southern Utah. Underneath the drive, and Chambers with the buckets.
You know, one of the things in transition, you always want to make sure you stop ball. I mean, obviously everybody needs to be sprinting back, but that's one of the things that the Broncos work on consistently, and no one stopped ball. So Chambers was able to take it all the way down.
Chambers with 10 as the foul's called against Southern Utah's Devin Kiernan. As we watch this one again, she just went right through the screen that was set by Maya Hansen. Maldonado checks back in for Boise State. She's got the basketball outside, gets at the high post to Thompson. Free throw line jumper, spins out. That's a couple that she's just missed today. That's her favorite spot.
That is her favorite spot.
Now Southern Utah looking to cut into this 4-point deficit. It was 10 not too long ago. A lot of contact, nothing called, and a turnover as Kiernan hit the deck. But boy, a lot of contact in the lane.
You know,
no whistle.
I appreciate there was no whistle on that one, to be honest, because they've done the same on both ends now with a similar type of thing on the drive. You know, displacement is a thing, but in that situation, I mean, a travel could have been called just as easy as the contact.
Maya Hansen gets that to creep over the rim.
Pretty finish by Maya Hansen on that one. Great spin to the inside and come back on her right hand for the finish.
And it won't show up in the stat sheet, but Tatum Thompson with a great screen to free her. Here's a drive by Doman. She's cut off by Hutton. The shot is no good, and a held ball as Maldonado and Banks get tied up, and the possession arrow favors Southern Utah.
I love Maldonado getting into the rebounding effort down there. Again, she's rebounding against 6'5", so way to go, Morgan. Way to get after it. You know, that's one of the things they can say about this freshman is they are not afraid to get in and mix it up.
Denver Anderson checks back in for Southern Utah. The handoff to Chambers. She'll fire from the free throw line and bury the 2.
Hansen was lucky not to get a 3-point play in that situation for Chambers.
Broncos on the run out, and Hutton is fouled. Chambers leads all scorers with 12. And the foul against Southern Utah will send Libby Hutton to the free throw line. 65% free throw shooter on the season.
And that was a great job by Maya. You know, they had a good score down here against the Broncos, but she quickly got the ball out and got the ball up. And I tell you what, as Coach Mason probably would say, that's one of the most frustrating things. You work really hard for your possession down here, get a bucket, and then you don't get back in transition. So you do not want to get scored on transition like that after a make.
Boise State averages 14.2 made free throws a game. They are now 3 of 6. Correction, 3 of 5. Outside, Kiernan. She'll fire from 3 and bury the triple. And just like that, that 10-point lead is down to 2.
And Kiernan is their best shooter that they have on the floor as far as consistency goes. So she is somebody I know that the coaching staff was trying to hone in on with the scouting report. There's something about a left-handed outside shooter. I've always thought that looks exceptionally pretty. I've coached a couple of really good left-handed shooters in my day, and it looks pretty sweet coming off her hand.
Under a minute to go here in the half as Tatum Thompson steps to the line, and that one spins out. She's now 2 of 4 from the stripe.
Again, somewhat uncharacteristic of her at the foul line.
She splits the pair, giving her 11 to lead Boise State. And under a minute to go, the Broncos lead by 3. Southern Utah could tie with a triple here. Chambers, get it out to Kiernan. Back on top to Anderson. Chambers, she's had the hot hand today. Maldonado dives for it. Chambers comes up with it. Kicks it out. Guigualo underneath. The ball is knocked out of bounds with 1 second on the shot clock. Southern Utah will have possession. We saw Boise State in their last game against California Baptist get a bucket with 1 second on the shot clock in a similar position. Let's see what the Thunderbirds can come up with.
It's very doable, especially with some height. Ooh, I don't know.
It's off the mark, and the rebound to Hutton.
Broncos will hold for 1 shot here just to fill out the half.
Shot clock is off. Boise State up by 3. Hansen down low. Hutton. 4 seconds to go. Hansen will make things happen. Drives with the left hand and scores. And that's the way the first half ends. Maya Hansen's 7th point beats the buzzer. And the Broncos have the halftime lead of 39 to 34 in a game that has seen the Broncos shoot over 55% from the field, but get out-rebounded by 11. But they will take the lead down the tunnel into the locker room. And welcome back inside ExtraMile Arena with Kim Bridges. I am Mark Snyder. Boise State up 5 on the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah, 39 to 34. Boise State paced so far today by Tatum Thompson, the senior from Danville, California, with 11 points. And really, she's been a settling influence on this Bronco team today.
You know, other than just a couple missed free throws, Tatum's had a really, really solid game and a great start for the Broncos. She's a big part of the reason why they're going into the halftime ahead.
And I misspoke. She is, of course, from Woodinville, Washington. It is Natalie Pasco from Danville, California. So, me. But the Broncos getting the done on both ends of this floor for Tatum Thompson, the senior. And here running the floor, so she has really played well. 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from the line, and as you mentioned, had a couple of her shots that normally fall that did not go in. On the other side, we look at from the arc, and Boise State a solid 5 of 9 from long range. They lead the Mountain West, and we talked earlier about how well they shot it at Utah, so certainly that can open up a defense if you're able to hit from downtown.
It can definitely change things and change things quickly. I mean, they're averaging 40.4% from 3, which is ranked #1 in the Mountain West and 7th nationally. So the Broncos can definitely load up the scoring if they get hot from 3.
Sierra Chambers is hot. She leads all scorers with 12 today on 4 of 6 shooting. She has a season high of 28, so you know she can fill it up.
Chambers has had a lot of really savvy finishes and done a really nice job getting to the rim. So Broncos are, I'm sure, talking about that at halftime, finding ways that they can stop her.
And we can talk about Cheese from Danville, California.
There
So I
you
knew
are.
one of the highlights was going to
Definitely
be
one of them.
from Danville, California. Busy day around the Mountain West on this Saturday afternoon, as the Air Force trailing at home at half against New Mexico Highlands 31-30. It is Utah State trailing at home at half against the Idaho Vandals. UNLV on the road at Cincinnati, and the Bearcats laying it to the Rebels 65-45. And of course, our game here at the half. Colorado State is going to play at San Francisco here in a little bit. The Rams at 8-2 along with Boise State. Cal State Northridge hosts San Jose State. Nevada hosting Pacific. Fresno State hosts Chicago State. And the evening concludes with the Lobos of New Mexico hosting the Houston Cougars. We are at the half. Boise State up 5. We will have more halftime activities after we take this brief timeout. Boise State leading Southern Utah 39-34. We are at the half here at ExtraMile Arena on the campus of Boise State University. Of course, with the holidays coming up soon, that means it's teddy bear toss time, and every fan who brought a toy in today for the toy drive got free admission to tonight's game. Of course, they did it the men's game against Duquesne on Wednesday night, and they did it again here today as collecting toys for folks in the community as we approach the holiday season. And let's see his eye. Pretty good arm there as we look at some of the toys that were collected, and a nice job. That, of course, was Wednesday night against Duquesne. They did it again here this afternoon, and a nice job. The kids sitting to our left, Kim, were able to toss their teddy bears onto the floor. Take a look at the halftime stats. The Broncos shooting the ball well and being badly out-rebounded, which is sort of what we anticipated coming into the game.
And that was a known entity. I think the Broncos came into this game realizing that was going to be a very key to getting the win. And so this is what's keeping Southern Utah close in this matchup, is out-rebounding the Broncos by 11.
Southern Utah. Hansen will make things happen. 10 offensive rebounds into 10 second chance points. With the left hit. State just one offensive rebound, a number that stands out to me. You see the 8 turnovers by Southern Utah. That's not remarkable, but the Broncos have cashed in 15 points off those 8 turnovers, certainly taking advantage of Southern Utah mistakes and good defense.
They have, and even just scoring off of some made baskets by Southern Utah, being able to push the ball. Credit to Maya Hansen, who's doing a great job of just set next play opportunities and that next play mindset. But they've been getting the ball out quickly and up the floor quickly, and so I'm sure that Coach Mason for Southern Utah is definitely going to be talking about that with her team.
Tatum Thompson leads the way for Boise State with 11 points. Libby Hutton leading rebounder with 4, and then assists. Maya Hansen has 4, which, you know, was just one off her season best. Chambers leading scorer with 12. Urich with 7 rebounds, and Doman with 2 assists leading the way. We've had just Boise State has led wire to wire, no ties in this one, no lead changes in this one. As you look at the way the numbers shake out, you have to think, if you're Gordy Presnell and your team's only turned it over 6 times, you're enjoying that number.
You are, and you know, Maya Hansen, she's averaging 5 assists a game. I think her career high was 9, but it's great to see her already with 4, and then on pace hopefully to do some more damage here in the second half.
We are at the half. The Broncos are up 5, and we will have second half action and more coming your way after we take this timeout from ExtraMile Arena in Boise. Broncos leading the Thunderbirds by 5. Boise State on top by 5 here at halftime, 39-34. As we get set to start the second half of action, the Broncos shooting 56% from the field and holding the Thunderbirds to just 42% from the field. We take a look at the conference schedule, because yes, this is the final non-conference game of the season, and the Broncos have a tough 2-game road trip as they will take on New Mexico down in the pit and then go down to Viejas Arena and take on San Diego State. And Kim, never an easy way to start your conference schedule with road trips to Albuquerque and San Diego.
No, those are going to be two tough tests for the Broncos to start off conference play, and they're actually going to stay on the road, which is not something they would normally do. You know, so many finals are actually done online or done early, so the Broncos are going to stay out. This is going to be a long road trip for them, but it's going to be a great way for them to hopefully open conference at least with a split, but 2-0 would be awesome.
And of course, our next home game here at ExtraMile Arena. Come and celebrate New Year's with us. New Year's Eve day at 2 o'clock Mountain Time. The Nevada Wolfpack come to town, followed by the first ever visit by Grand Canyon University, new to the Mountain West this year. And we will see them here as you see the schedule rolls on. A solid conference schedule and some really good teams here in the conference this year. New Mexico at 7-3, San Diego State at 6-3. And then, of course, we wrap up the season, the home schedule, the last day of February against the Utah State Aggies, and then a closing game at UNLV. And maybe you just want to stay in Vegas because the Mountain West tournament will be shortly thereafter.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're staying out on that one. You know, UNLV's record is not looking tremendous in the preseason, but they've really challenged themselves. I think they haven't liked the fact that sometimes they win the conference and then get a poor schedule for the first round of the NCAAs. So they've really challenged themselves in the preseason with some tough preseason opponents.
Tatum Thompson inbound for Boise State as the Broncos look to stay perfect in the non-conference schedule on their home floor. 21 straight wins as they go the high post to Hutton. Outside to Tatum Thompson. Swings it to Danny Bays. Down low, nice look for Hutton, and that's what the Bronco coaches want Libby to do, is slash to the basket and score.
And that's one of the things that she does best on the floor. She's obviously leading the Broncos with rebounding, but love to see her getting a quick start here to start the second half.
Boise State defensively now. This is Urich, gives the ball up. Outside Feely, she airballs that three.
We call that the chuck and chase sometimes in the high school levels. Feely's not best known for her attack from three. I think she's more comfortable putting the ball on the floor, but she can hit those. So she is a prolific scorer. I would definitely guard her, but I think she wants that possession back.
Bays gets it out to Pasco, gets the screen from Thompson. Lob down low for Tatum Thompson, and it's knocked out away by Urich overplaying. Feely, we talked about her in the pregame, just 8 minutes and 2 points, 1 of 6. She was plagued by foul trouble in that first half and did not do Brooklyn Feely type things.
Exactly, and I think that's probably why she pulled the trigger on that last possession. That's not something that's characteristic of her.
On the out-of-bounds play, Pasco with the jumper. She's now got 11. She and Thompson both with 11 to pace the Broncos. And Boise State gets the first couple buckets of the second half. Outside Feely, guarded by Hutton. Spins. Hutton stays down. Good defense. The ball on the baseline, though. Urich picks it up. Outside for three, way off the mark for Kiernan. And Hutton with her 5th rebound.
And again, that's just another example of Southern Utah keeping possessions alive. Urich just muscled her way in and kept that alive for her team to get them a second chance opportunity.
Bays, and there's a whistle. Is it going to be Hutton setting the screen, or it's a reach on Southern Utah? Libby Hutton kind of lowered her shoulder into the defender, and I thought they might call her, but we'll watch it again. It's on the pass-off. The Kiernan, I believe, whistled for the personal foul. Corner, Pasco, that's a little strong. Quick outlet pass to Chambers.
Natalie usually puts that one down. That was a good kick out to her. Again, great look for Pasco.
Urich, she's the junior from the Bay Area. Outside Chambers, leading scorer today. Kiernan spins on Hansen, doesn't get it to go. The rebound tipped out, and it's picked up by Maya Hansen, and she is fouled from behind. And if that's Kiernan, that is her 3rd personal foul.
I'm not sure that the coaches had any preference there, because if that would have not been Kiernan, that would have been Feely, and that would have been her 3rd.
Right.
So either way, that was going to hurt the Thunderbirds.
Danny Bays whips it around. Thompson, nice pass to Pasco. That's ball movement 101.
Oh, man, splitting off the high post. That was a great rub off of Hutton, and I think the defender on that one just didn't quite get around, so Doman wants that possession back for sure.
Pasco now leads with 13 points. Southern Utah still yet to score a bucket here in this third quarter. The pass down low to Feely. Spins up and under, doesn't get it. Thompson with the rebound.
Credit Hutton on that whole possession. I love watching post players do their work down there, and I tell you what, Feely is doing work, and Hutton's having to play every moment of every defensive possession.
Tatum Thompson with the bucket. I want to wish her grandfather happy birthday, Henry Vanderstilt, celebrating his birthday. We know you're watching, Henry. You should be proud because Tatum with the bucket. She's got 13. The Broncos lead 47-34. Natalie Pasco, the senior from Danville, California, 13 points on 5 of 6 shooting today, 3 of 4 from the line. She's having a day.
She is having a day. She's ranked number 1 coming into this game in the Mountain West with her 3-point shooting percentage at 49%. And with 3 of 4 from beyond the arc right now, that's only going to grow.
Ashley Banks now in the game for Southern Utah. Played nearly 4 minutes of this quarter, and Southern Utah still looking for their first bucket. Chambers outside to Doman. 7 on the shot clock. The shot is partially deflected by Hutton, and it comes down to Pasco. Nice defense.
That was a good
quick release to Hutton, and it just doesn't go.
The Broncos in that last possession switched to a different type of zone. We ran this at my high school, Syracuse type of look. So now they're back into a regular man, but that definitely gave a different look for Southern Utah to try to compete against.
Kiernan, they swing it out to Chambers. Jump shot for Urich is off the mark, and Hutton with another rebound. Broncos look to run. Hutton running the floor, doesn't get it to drop.
That's 2 misses by Hutton on the last 2 possessions that she definitely would like to see go down.
Doman with the first bucket of the half for Southern Utah. It took them 4.5, almost 5 minutes. 4:40 before they finally scored. This is Danny Bays. Outside to Hutton. Pasco. She'll launch. Spins out. Had a funny spin to it. Thompson, though, gets the offensive rebound and draws the foul against Devin Kiernan.
Southern Utah is known for going underneath those ball screens, and they do what's considered a plug or a sort of a push-up. So that's not something you want to do all the time against Boise State, being so good behind the arc. So I think Nat realized that, saw our defender go underneath, and had another good look at it.
Tatum Thompson short with the first. About the only complaint you could have with her game today. She's now 3 of 6 from the line, but she has 5 rebounds, 13 points for the senior. She splits the pair. Well, the Bronco lead is 12. It was 10 in the first half. Southern Utah got it down to 3, but Boise State has climbed back into a double-digit advantage as Chambers so far scoreless here in the half. Gets the ball outside. Banks. Back to Urich on the baseline. It's taken away by Bays, but she was foot on the line, and so that turns it over. Just 5 points for Danny Bays today, but she's played a fine all-around game and has been really locked down defensively. There you see she takes it away. I guess her left foot was on the baseline.
It was, and that was a good defensive stand there by Danny, doing a good job to body and not foul.
Chambers looks for space, doesn't get it. Quick release is off. The rebound. Hutton skies for the board.
Great job by Libby coming in, and good seal out by her teammates to make sure they retain the possession.
Hutton to Bays. Gordy Presnell sticking with his starters here for the third quarter. Underneath, great look by Bays to Tatum Thompson for 16 points for Thompson.
Love to see that senior-to-senior connection. I mean, Danny could see Tatum on that cut before I think Tatum even started to make the cut.
Ball knocked out of bounds off of Anderson, and Boise State will get the ball on the turnover. The Broncos with the 14-point lead as Bays dishes to Thompson, and Boise State is rolling. Boise State's defense helping lead the way to an 11-2 run here to start the second half. And Libby Hutton leads the Broncos with 4 blocks today as Boise State tied for third in the Mountain West. A long time since Boise State hasn't led the league thanks to Abby Mew's graduation, but the defense today's been solid.
Definitely solid defense, and they're mixing it up a little bit from possession to possession. But yeah, after Abby Mew's graduated, I didn't think that Broncos would be leading in that category.
They swing it over to Maya Hansen underneath Thompson, has that one just falls short.
That's a called set that they run for Tatum quite frequently. She likes to get that ball in the short corner, turnaround jump shot.
Urich with the miss and the offensive rebound. Last touch by Banks of Southern Utah. The Thunderbirds now 1 of 11 from the field to start this second half.
Not exactly the way that Southern Utah hoped to start the third quarter after closing some gaps. The Broncos would make stretches of really good runs against them, but you know, right now it's all Broncos.
Hansen swings it out to Pasco. Natalie gets the screen from Hutton. Goes baseline, dishes to the cutter Thompson, and she is fouled. So that's the second time we've seen a pass from the baseline to the cutter Thompson from the free throw line.
You know, and in that situation, credit the offensive players. Tatum just recognizing that her player got caught looking at where the ball was, and she did a great job cutting to the hoop.
4th team foul on the Thunderbirds, none by Boise State. Hansen had the inbounds pass returned to her. She fumbled it but got it back. Underneath for Thompson, fall away, gets the shooter's touch.
There's that soft roll, and that was a really smart play by Thompson as well. Urich was lined up and ready to take a charge, so had she tried to finish at the rim, that would have gone a different direction.
Chambers scoreless here in the third quarter. Southern Utah just 1 bucket here in the frame. Give and go to Urich, and she will go to the line for the and one opportunity. Urich now with 4 points. They're going to get the reach foul on Maya Hansen.
That was a nice finish by Urich, but how about the big girl with a nice dish to her to get that assist?
Right?
Oh, yeah. Every day in practice. That's all we did.
Hansen,
Ashley sees it flow well.
Hansen will sit. She's replaced by Maldonado as Urich completes the 3-point play, and Feely checks back in for her. Of course, Brooklyn Feely was hoping to have her brother Braxton cheering her on here this afternoon. He is a defensive lineman with the Boise State football team, but he's got other things on his mind today. The Broncos playing the University of Washington in the LA Bowl later tonight, as that one's off the mark for Danny Bays. So Feely was hoping to have Big Brother in the stands, but I think she'll understand.
I think she will understand, and I think that might have put a lot of Feely's football teammates in a bind. What do they wear to the game, and who do they support?
Feely with the bucket inside. She's now got 4 points on 2 of 9 shooting, as she has struggled this afternoon.
And Southern Utah is doing a better job right now just playing possession basketball. So they're just realizing, you know, you can't regain the lead just by 1 or 2 possessions. So you get a stop and you come down and score. And that's how you chip away at the Broncos' lead.
Bays a little strong with that 3 ball. Knocks it away from behind, and they're going to call a foul on Danny Bays with the reach.
Yeah, Danny just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Tatum had a nice slide, though. I think she would at least a good 5 yards on that.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 yards.
Kevin Garza checks in for Libby Hutton for Boise State. Hutton leads with 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks. A solid performance. Feely in the lane, and Garza takes it away from her. Ahead to Maldonado. Broncos looking to run. Thompson back to Maldonado. Missed the layup, though. Too far under the bucket. And back come the Thunderbirds.
I don't think that Morgan was expecting the ball to come back to her on that one.
And then that one turned over by Southern Utah. Their 11th turnover of the game.
Doman was thinking about her next action before she collected the basketball on that one.
And Boise State with 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, leading by 11. It's a 5-point margin at the half. Broncos have extended it here in the third quarter. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Kenna Garza.
That was a good flare play for Danny to get a nice three-point look, and it's just a bummer because she's been having trouble getting the fall for the last couple games. That was a great look, but the screen was just a little bit too much by Garza.
Turnover by the Broncos is their 7th. Urich in the lane, baseline to Feely, and she gets it in over Danny Bays. Feely with a couple buckets here in the third quarter. Now here's Garza, guarded by Banks, spins, drop step, Banks blocks the shot. Urich ahead to Chambers, baseline Doman, air ball, and the rebound is volleyballed out to Natalie Pasco with 1:10 to go here in the quarter. Tough catch for Thompson, and she's fouled by Feely, and that'll be Feely's third.
Tatum looked like a wide receiver on that one. I almost think that she closed her eyes before she made the catch. But athletic move. Actually, both of those two tremendous athletes going up in the air.
So Tatum Thompson goes to the foul line as the Broncos are now in the bonus. Hansen checks in, and Danny Bays leaves.
All right, Tatum, let's get 2 of 2 on this one.
4 of 7 from the line today. Rattles the first one in. She's now got 19 points to lead the Broncos in scoring. Season best is 26 for the preseason player of the year in the Mountain West.
All I had to do was ask.
Yeah, see.
That's my bad.
What'd you ask Santa for? Banks didn't expect that pass in the backcourt. Probably traveled, but
definitely
got away with it.
I think Coach Petrino stood up and encouraged the official to call that one.
Outside, the pass down low to Feely in traffic. Doesn't get it to go. Garza with the rebound, and she is fouled. And if that's Feely, that will be 4 on number 4, and that is the case. So Brooklyn Feely on the rebound. You see the shot initially is missed. Garza in a good position for the rebound, and Feely called for foul number 4, and that will earn her a spot on Tracy Mason's bench.
That's a frustration foul by Feely. She wanted to get the original look, and you got to credit freshman Kenna Garza by doing a great job to box out and finish the play. So, you know, from a coaching perspective, to see one of your best players go out with 4 fouls right near the end of the quarter break, that's very frustrating.
Garza hits both free throws, giving her 4 points.
Broncos showing a little light full court pressure here. Little man.
Urich, the junior, Pinewood High School in Los Altos Hills, California, gets the return pass. Nice look and score.
That's a nice play by Urich, and I mean, I love that. I love the step up. I love the hard finish. She's a player that thrives on contact and physicality, so she's ready to fight for her team.
Shot clock off. Bronco lead is 11 as Boise State will hold for the final possession here of the third quarter. Hansen outside, now picked up by Chambers, gets the screen from Thompson, out to Tatum. Drives in the lane, in traffic, a little strong. The rebound tipped out, and that's the way the third quarter ends. Boise State outscores the Thunderbirds in that quarter, 17-11. They lead 56-45. The fourth quarter comes your way next. Welcome back inside ExtraMile Arena, where Boise State leads Southern Utah by 11 as we start the fourth quarter. Boise State leading the Mountain West in assists on the season, nearly 17 a game, and they are responsible for 14 assists today on their 21 buckets. And of course, Maya Hansen leading the way for the Broncos.
That's right. Maya has 7 right now, which is 2 above her average of 5 for each game. Just awesome basketball when you see players looking for their teammates. And I think Maya not only is doing a great job with that, but she has 7 points to boot.
Chambers gets the pass out for the 3-ball by Bella Hassan. No good, but the offensive glass and the buckets.
And that's Urich again. Urich is, she's battling. Not the best shooting night for her. She's 3 of 13 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, but boy, she plays hard.
Pass kicked by Banks. Urich now with 13 rebounds to lead everybody as we watch this kick ball again by Ashley Banks. Kick save and a beauty, as they would say. Boise High School is a great soccer program, so maybe she moonlighted with the soccer
She
team.
did not.
She did
She
not.
did not.
You wouldn't let her.
No. You know, that wasn't her sport. They tried to get her on the golf team, though, at one point.
It's a long sticks. Outside, quick release. Danny Bays. Maldonado found her through the traffic with that diagonal pass. And Bays now with 8.
I'm not sure how Morgan got that pass to Danny. That was threading a few different needles there, but great finish by Danny.
Nice backdoor cut for Doman, but she is blocked off from the basket. And now underneath, Banks is fouled by Kenna Garza, and that'll bring Ashley Banks to the free throw line. 62% on the field.
Garza fell down on the play and was late to getting up, and unfortunately got up and went directly to foul.
Banks' season high is 9 against Benedictine Mesa. And that one doesn't go.
I know Ashley's excited to be playing against her hometown fans. Her father had the whole team over for a team dinner. They also went out to the village and enjoyed some shopping and Christmas lights. So it's, I think, been fun for her to show off where she's from to the rest of the Thunderbirds.
She splits those free throws. The Bronco lead is 11. As Bays gets it out to Libby Hutton. Hands it back to Morgan Maldonado. She drives baseline into the land of the Giants, cut off there by Urich, who blocks the shot and pulls it down. That was sort of a no-win proposition for Maldonado on the baseline.
Sometimes those drives that were successful for you at the high school level don't look as good when you're driving into big people.
Chambers with the floater, her first bucket of the second half, and the Bronco lead down to 9.
And Chambers made that floater over Howard, who just subbed in for the Broncos. Again, another tall tree, so sometimes when those guards get in there, that's a tougher shot than they remember.
Bays with the miss on the 3. That was a dangerous cross-court pass.
Another one.
Over a few hands. Now they go down low to Urich, guarded there by Hutton. Urich back out to Chambers, and they set the 2-man game again. Chambers shoots over the screen, missed it. Howard with the block out, but the ball is run down by Southern Utah, but Hassan can't keep it in play, and it goes out of bounds to Boise State as Natalie Pasco checks back in for the Broncos. We watch this one again. Howard with the good initial screen, but you saw Bella Hassan at 5'6" sneak in and knock it away.
The Broncos were very fortunate to retain that possession. That could have been yet another offensive rebound for Southern Utah.
34-22, the rebounding advantage for the Thunderbirds today. Howard down low, guarded by Banks, goes with the left hand, doesn't get it. Urich with the rebound. Quick release by Hassan, but they don't find her. And now they get it. Urich, the 2-man game with Doman in the lane, no, but a foul called against Boise State.
I think they're going to get Howard on that one right at the top.
Nifty pass in traffic. Urich now with 15 rebounds. Her season high is 17 against the Idaho Vandals. In one of the 2 losses that Southern Utah's had this year, their 2 losses were to Idaho and Mountain West foe Colorado State.
And both, I mean, Idaho's playing very well this year. Colorado State, I think, is going to be one of the league leaders in the Mountain West. So, you know, I really want to credit Coach Mason with how she's getting her team to play so hard. I mean, they're out rebounding, and it's other than Banks, they don't have a ton more size than the Broncos do.
Pasco drains the three to give Boise State the 10-point lead.
Broncos needed that basket badly.
Outside with the dribble is Chambers. Gives it up to Doman, and now swing it back out to Chambers. She drives and will be called for. The foul is called, and they count the continuation. And Chambers will go to the line for the three-point opportunity. Watch this one again. Takes the bump from Maya Hansen. She can't believe it, but yes, the foul was called, and now Chambers with 16 goes back to the line. And can we announce her jinx? She has made
keep trying.
39 in a row, make it 40 in a row.
You know, that's too bad, Maya getting that foul called. Not a ton of contact, but it felt like such a long continuation because the ball actually just hung on the rim for so long.
Bays and Hansen each with 3 fouls for Boise State. Skip pass to Pasco. The pass to the low post deflected, but it's picked up by Hutton, and she cannot get the turnaround to drop, but she did draw the foul. And Libby Hutton will go to the free throw line with 6:12 to go.
You saw Hutton recognizing the mismatch. She had Chambers on her down in the block, and so they were doing the best they could to get her the ball. Good job dropping the foul. I'm sure she wanted to get a three-point play out of that.
Coaches were talking about Libby Hutton and where she catches the ball back to the basket versus coming in on the cut. And what's the mindset for a player when you get the ball down low? Do your eyes get big because you got that mismatch, and do you rush things?
You sometimes do, and I don't know if you've been noticing, but on the other end, Urick has been demanding the ball down in the block. You sometimes do, and sometimes you just get so excited. Everybody on the floor knows that you want that basketball at that moment. So credit to Libby to demand the ball from her teammates and to make good at the free throw line.
Hits them both. She's got 9. The long-range shot creates the long rebound, which bounces out to Danny Bays, and she wisely slows it down and gives it up to her senior teammate, Maya Hansen.
I think Danny had even numbers going, but then realized that she was outnumbered with her possession, and very wisely, as you said, went ahead and said, hey, let's set this one up.
Pasco with the runner in the lane for 2, and Natalie Pasco's got 18.
Pasco's just so efficient. I mean, right now she's got 16 points for the Broncos on 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, 6 of 8. Actually, I'm sorry, just updated, 7 of 9 field goal overall.
And the foul is the offensive variety called against Urick. That is a turnover, her first personal foul. And Tatum Thompson checks back in. Boise State's Emily Howard, the redshirt junior from Vancouver, BC. The transfer from Liberty goes out.
And Maya had to really work for that one. That's a tough call. That's a tough call to draw.
5:13 to go. The pass down low to Bays on the sweet feet from the outside.
Again, another design play to cut off of that high post. When your defense trails you, that's where you have that opportunity. Danny realized that and made good on the offer.
Be interesting to see Boise State with their starters on the floor. Is this the group that closes it out? Under 5 minutes to go. Urick flat off that one with the jumper, and the rebound to the Broncos. Hansen into forecourt, hounded there by Hassan. Underneath, the shot no good for Maya. And Doman. Thompson anticipates and knocks it away. And a timeout taken on the floor as Boise State with the lead, 68-55. Danny Bays from Australia down under, deep outside. Broncos in the lead. Bronco offense clicking today, and they've really been doing it all season. Second in the Mountain West, averaging 72.5 points a game and shooting very well from the field today at 49%.
Again, this game is exactly what the Broncos want to do. Remember, Southern Utah is coming in averaging 81 points per game. Again, some different opponents that they have mixed in there in their preseason schedule. But this has been a fun game to watch from both sides.
Feely back in the game on the handoff to Doman.
And coming back with Feely, she's got 4 fouls right now, so I'm sure they're trying to get the most they can out of her minutes, but 4 minutes left on the game.
Knocked out of bounds by Danny Bays. Boise State sitting in a 2-3 zone, it looks like.
They were that last possession, and I think they'll go man here, coming back with the baseline out of bounds.
Chambers to trigger. She leads the scoring brigade for Southern Utah with 17. Underneath, Urich is fouled. Let's see who they got with that one. If it's Hansen, and that is going to be, it is the fourth foul on Maya Hansen. And that will send Ava Urich from Burlingame, California to the line. Number 2 scorer as a sophomore last year for this Southern Utah team. Been in double figures 6 times today, and she, with 1 of 2 free throws, would make it 7. Now we were going to have a replay review of some sort, and we'll find out what it's for. And it was Gordy Presnell thinking, like you did, that maybe the foul was on Hutton instead of on Maya Hansen, so they are going to go to the monitor to see if they can get it right. If it's Hutton, that would be her second versus 4 on Hansen, so that's why they're going to the monitor to see if...
Yeah, both were right in the proximity. I mean, personally, I thought the foul would have been on Hutton. Yeah,
I mean, she was the one who was right there, and see if they changed it or not. I didn't hear the call. Well,
they just said Boise State's been assessed a timeout. So that must have been appeal not
overturned.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not overturned.
I mean, the appeal was, that's surprising to me, because when you look at that replay, Maya was a 1.5 feet away from the play, so it may have been earlier than that. I don't know, but it's 4 on Maya Hansen. And the Broncos with 3 timeouts left, and there's the 7th double-figure game for Urich this season. Feely and Kiernan both with 4 fouls for Southern Utah as well. On top to Hutton.
You'd like to see Hutton go at Feely right now with 4 fouls.
And that'll be a free throw opportunity for Danny Bays, as Kiernan, if that's hers, she is just fouled out.
I think Danny Bays just made something out of nothing on that one. The ball kind of bounced back to her, and she wisely attacked and made it look like she was going up for a shot. But that will be the end of Kiernan's night.
3 points for Kiernan on just 1 of 6 from the field. No rebounds. A tough day for her as Danny Bays hits the first free throw. 76% free throw shooter, was Mountain West Player of the Week earlier this season for a 31-point effort against UC Davis. Paradise Jam All-Tournament team, and she hits a pair.
Just her first 2 free throws of the game, which is somewhat surprising to me.
Boise State at 13 made free throws, Southern Utah at 11. Underneath for 2.
That's a smooth move by Chambers. Again, just a great job getting downhill, and then did a nice job with her finish. A little bit of a funky, goofy foot finish.
Thompson has it stripped. And here's Chambers. She's got 19 to pace Southern Utah.
I know it's an 11-point lead right now for the Broncos, but this does not feel at all comfortable because of how well... Oh, boy, I think I might have called a travel on that one. I'll have to visit with my friend Ike again on that one.
Feely gets the foul called against Hutton, I believe. And that'll be free throws for Brooklyn Feely. That's 2 fouls on Hutton. Leading rebounder for the Broncos today was 7. That matches her season high.
I was hoping for a replay on that one to see the feet. I felt like it was, I call that Super Mario Brothers feet when they jump in the air and there's a little bit extra movement, but I thought there was some on the ground.
First free throw, not good though for Brooklyn Feely. She's got just 6 today on 3 of 11 from the field, hits 1 of 2 for her 7th point, and it's a 10-point Boise State lead, and now Feely is down and in pain.
Not sure what happened. She was just running back
down the floor.
Yeah.
And she wears a sleeve on her left leg, or excuse me, her right leg, and that's the one that's giving her problems. And I don't know if she just had her shoe stick to the floor and twisted. We didn't see what it was away from the play, but Brooklyn Feely now going directly to the locker room for Southern Utah.
You hate to see that. She's a competitor and just made an important point for her team. Hopefully it's just something she can jog off court and get her back on the floor.
Banks replaces her for Southern Utah. Dribbling through traffic, Bays has it blocked by Banks, but actually fouls her. And that's another case of Danny Bays making lemonade.
She really did.
Or chicken soup.
and that was tough because Ashley Banks is so long. So Danny had to do a good job of drawing the contact with the body because she was clean on top.
Second foul on Banks. Danny Bays calmly hits the first.
It's great to see your seniors finishing well at the foul line. Again, this is the type of momentum you need going into conference play. You want kids on the floor who are going to be playing at the end of the game that you know you can trust and rely on, that they're going to make those possessions count.
Third Bronco in double figures today, and Boise State looks like they're going to close with this starting unit. There's a foul on Hansen, and that's 5 on her as the bucket will count and the foul.
Just a little bit too much of a reach, I think, on Maya. Again, yeah, she tried to get out of the way, but Urich just uses her body so very well. Urich's game is bully ball, and that's not an insult. That's actually a high compliment, I think, going towards her. Just a really heads-up, heady junior. Did a good job for her team.
8 assists for Hansen. She's replaced by Kiera Thompson, freshman from Camas, Washington. Bronco lead is 10.
And these are the first minutes for Kiera Thompson coming in this late in the game, so that's an interesting sub-decision by Coach Presnell.
Tatum Thompson, a lot of contact, nothing called. Back the other way comes Chambers.
I think that might have been just as much contact that we saw down here by Hansen on that last possession.
Corrections a 9-point lead. There's a quick fire for 3. That's off the mark, though, for Triguero. And then a whistle and a foul called against Boise State. Or is it? Yes, it is Boise State.
I think they're going to get Danny Bays with that one. Danny didn't do what she needed to do to box out Urich, and that's a tough assignment, don't get me wrong. And then bailed her out with the foul. And that's her 4th, I believe.
Free throw converted for Urich. She's now got 15.
Again, hats off to Urich. She has really muscled her team into being in position to keep this game close in the final minutes.
Boise State gets a possession on the tie. Missed free throw. Urich knew it was off, and she sprinted right away.
She did.
She knew where it was going, but a nice job by Kiera Thompson to not lose possession, and the held ball goes to the Broncos as Kiera Thompson into the lane out to Danny Bays. Tatum Thompson comes over to set the screen, but instead, Danny takes it herself and goes for the 3-point opportunity. And that was, get out of my way, I'm going to make this happen, Danny Bays.
Boy, Danny, she tolerated quite a bit of contact, both coming off the screen and then even before this finish. But way to go, your senior at the line, hoping to convert on a 3-point play.
Bays now with 16 points today. You see those numbers. Make it 17. Thompson with 20. Pasco 18. Bays 17. The seniors pacing the way again for Boise State.
And most importantly, Danny Bay's a perfect 5 of 5 from the foul line. Again, those are so crucial to get those possession points in tight games like this.
Urick gets the hometown roll for the visitors.
Big fan of Urick. Big fan.
17 points today. That is a new season high. Tatum Thompson been quiet here in the fourth quarter. Gets the return pass on the two-man game. Thompson so smooth inside on the pass from Natalie Pascoe.
That was a tough pass for Natalie to make through traffic. She had to pass over 3 Thunderbird defenders, and Tatum to somehow get that ball and get that finish. Just impressive.
Doman pulls down the air ball, miss. Chambers in the lane. She goes with the left hand, too strong. And Libby Hutton with her 8th rebound.
Broncos are wisely going to slow it down here a little bit, make sure that they chew a little clock, see if they can't get a full possession here.
1 minute left in this one. Boise State looks like they will extend the home court non-conference winning streak to 22. Natalie Pascoe drains the triple. 21 for Natalie.
Natalie, 5 of 7 from three-point range.
Urick can't answer, and the rebound pulled down by Tatum Thompson. Her 6th of the game, and now it's all academic as Boise State is going to improve to 9-2 and had Southern Utah their 3rd loss of the season as Boise State gets set for a conference schedule. Underneath, Thompson will draw the foul and will go to the line as that one whistled against Courtney Doman.
Doman just came up underneath Thompson. I think she was hoping to draw a charge, but you have to give landing room for Thompson as she received the ball on the slip.
Tatum to the line, 22 points. Make it 23 points. She's now 7 of 10 from the line. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. A block shot in 34 minutes. Not a bad day's work.
Not a bad day's work. Oh, I was just going to say, since I asked nicely, she had not missed a free throw, and I misspoke. I shouldn't have said anything until it was down, but great night for Tatum today.
Final 15 seconds in this one. Boise State up 81-66, and Hutton takes that one away. A little tough shooting, 3 of 7, but she's done a lot of other things well, and Boise State comes away with the win as they defeat Southern Utah 81-66 here on a Saturday afternoon. And the Broncos' last home loss was February 15th against Fresno State, and they are outscoring their opponents by nearly 12 points a game here at ExtraMile Arena. 22 straight wins, non-conference variety for Boise State, and they wrap up the non-conference portion of their schedule this year with a record of 9-2 off to their best start since the 2021 season. And Boise State, a tough one against the Thunderbirds, but they pull away at the end and win 81-66. We'll chat with some players and have a wrap for today's game after we take this time out from ExtraMile Arena in Boise. The Broncos with the win. Welcome back to ExtraMile Arena. Mark Snyder and Kim Bridges with you. Boise State wrapping up the non-conference schedule with an 81-66 win against the Southern Utah Thunderbirds. We're joined by Danny Bays, 17 points, one of several Broncos in double figures this afternoon, but this was by no means an easy game, was it?
No, definitely not. They definitely came out to play. We were ready for it. We knew they were excited during the warm-ups, we could tell, so we battled, and I mean, it was a good outcome, but we definitely could do better. There's things that we need to improve on for sure.
Danny, tough night against Utah, but
Right.
you wanted to respond here today. I think it was kind of a quiet scoring for you, but all of a sudden you look at the end of the game and you're like 17 points. Pretty darn impressive. Talk to me about what it's like mentality-wise, come off of a tough night at Utah and then respond here.
Yeah. I kind of try to keep to the rule where you're only like down for 24 hours, whether like that's losing, winning, you know, celebrating, and then you got to get back to it. And unfortunately, like not unfortunately, but in college sports, I feel like especially there's just so many games that you can't afford to be in your own mindset. And I think especially with this team, we knew that we could have competed with Utah, and unfortunately we didn't. So I think I really just wanted to come out tonight and prove what we were about, what I was about, and luckily they went in, so that's awesome.
They did.
Broncos shoot over 50% from the field. Again, a nice change from the experience down in Salt Lake City. How do you assess your team now that the non-conference schedule's wrapped up and you start conference play with two really tough places to play, Albuquerque and San Diego?
Right. I think New Mexico and San Diego State are also teams that have had quite good wins this season, and I feel like that's something that we haven't really unlocked. I don't think we've really had a big statement win, so I feel like other teams might look at us and, think we're soft or, not really in it right now, but we're just so much more capable of what we've shown. And I'm really excited. I love playing in the pit. When it's going good, it's awesome. So hopefully we can, replicate that. And obviously San Diego too, that's a fun place to play at. So, they're tough teams. We're a tough team, but I don't think people know that about us yet,
Danny, leadership-wise, I see you with a different voice out there when you're talking with your teammates. I see you rallying them in warm-ups. What's it like been for you to get and embrace this role, basically?
It's really exciting. Definitely a really big learning and growing I have to do, but I've had really good leaders in the past, and I try to replicate that in what I'm trying to do. I've also been a freshman and been on the bench and know what they're feeling like, so I feel like being able to relate to each of them, hopefully that's helping them. I don't really know. They're a bit quiet sometimes. I'm like, but it's really fun, and especially doing it with the four of us. We each have different styles, and it's working. It looks like it's working, so yeah,
it's working.
Yeah.
It's working. Well, a good game. Boise State with the win. Danny Bays, 17 points. The Broncos, 81-66 over Southern Utah. We will see you next year at ExtraMile Arena on New Year's Eve day.
Wow.
2 o'clock as the Reno Wolfpack come to town. There you go. Danny Bays, our guest here post-game, as Boise State with the win over Southern Utah, 81-66. And she talked about leadership, Kim, and you really see this group of seniors, the way they've kind of grown into that leadership role.
They have, and what's really neat to see with Danny is she spoke about this. She's played in all the different roles. She's played in different positions. She's been the person coming off the bench, and so I think she can really speak to a lot of different people on the squad.
Another one of those seniors that's helped Boise State to this 9-2 record is joining us, Maya Hansen. We won't ask you about the 5 fouls. Some of them seemed a little iffy, but we won't go there.
I'm good with that. We don't need to talk about it.
But one question that does do is you want to be on the floor, and when some of those calls happen, how do you process that mentally to stay in the game and know that you're not helping your team when those things happen and you're on the bench?
Yeah, obviously not ideal in those situations, and I need to do a better job myself of not putting me in those situations going forward. I feel like I've struggled with that a little bit, so it's something I will focus on. Main point is just not letting my team down, because obviously if I can step out on that court, I'm going to help them to the best of my abilities, and even if I am off that court, that's when my communication comes in. That's when cheering comes in. So no matter what, whether I'm on or off the court, I take that to my full advantage and try to help the team in any way I can.
Talking about taking to the full advantage, you average 5 assists a game, but today you had 8. I think a lot of those, what I found most impressive was after a made basket by the Thunderbirds. And, don't hang your head, immediately turn around and go the other way and hit a runner on the other side. So, what does it mean for you to distribute the ball so efficiently and effectively for your team?
Well, that's what my kind of game I like to do. Anytime I can play that way, I will. But it's just props to our team. We have some great posts who can run that line, run that rim line. So anytime they're taking off, and I'll get them the ball. And we thankfully have some great shooters on the outside, so they're either going to have to take away our outside perimeter shooting or inside. So either way, I can find someone, because we have scorers at all levels on our team, and so they can't take away everything.
Coaches were telling us this week that one of the things they're still experimenting with is the 6, 7, and 8 players coming off the bench. With the starting 5 is well set. That was the group that played a lot of minutes tonight, the starters, and you guys were on the floor to close out the game. How do you process that, and what's your mindset as you come to close out a game? Because in the past couple of years, that's kind of been a bugaboo for this team. That seems to have changed. What did change?
Obviously, we've been in those situations where we haven't came out on top, so we know that feeling, and we don't ever want to feel that way again. We want to come out on top. And obviously, I just have so much faith in our team, so no matter what, I feel comfortable in any situation we're in, because I know I can get the ball to anybody, they'll make a bucket, and I know we can get a stop when it's needed.
The most important question I'm going to ask you, it's bugging me all season. You wore number 1 throughout your entire career. Why the switch to 14?
So in high school, I was number 4, and then obviously I transitioned to number 1 when I got here. So I feel like there's multiple meanings, I guess. One reason is just kind of putting my whole career together, because obviously this is my last year this year. So taking 1 and 4, those are the numbers I have. It just kind of brings my whole journey, because every person that's been in my life, the amount of hours I spent in a gym, it's all led up to this point. And along with that, both my parents were 14 when they played sports. So I feel like that's just kind of a recognition to them, because this number means a lot to our family, and it means a lot that I can represent them and show them kind of as a thank you, and how much gratitude I have for them and the amount of stuff they've done for me and the amount of support. So thank you to all of them.
Yeah, well, that's great. See, there's more to it than just throwing a number on a jersey, isn't it? It is. What number did you wear?
34.
34, okay.
There's a 4 in there.
Have they retired it yet? I'm looking in the rafters.
It's not up there in the rafters, no.
Well, Maya, another strong win, close out the non-conference schedule. We talked to Danny about this. 2 tough places to play to start the conference season, Albuquerque and San Diego. What are your initial thoughts on those 2 games?
Obviously, you should go in, swing in right away. Both teams are pretty aggressive, so we're just going to have to meet that intensity. Ultimately, obviously, it's the start of conference, so we just want to set a precedent of what we mean and what Boise State basketball means at the beginning of conference.
All right. Well, good luck, and we will see you back here on New Year's Eve Day against Nevada Reno. The Wolfpack come to town, but a great win for you today.
Thank you.
Great job, Maya.
Maya Hansen joining us here post-game as Boise State wins 81-66. A quick look at the numbers, Kim. Boise State shot the ball extremely well again, outstanding from 3-point range. The numbers on the rebounding about to be expected as Southern Utah dominates the boards 40-27, but the Broncos get the win. And I guess that's ultimately the most important.
It is. The win and the momentum, right? So they've got 2 more games before Christmas. I think it's really important they got back their mojo, if you will, before they head off to start conference play.
Broncos with 17 points off of 13 turnovers by Southern Utah, while the Thunderbirds just 8 points off the Broncos, 8 turnovers. And to kind of reinforce the rebounding margin, offensive rebounds 14-2 for Southern Utah, leading to 13-4 second chance points in this one. Tatum Thompson paces Boise State with 23, Natalie Pasco 21, Danny Bays 17. On the other side for Southern Utah, it was Sierra Chambers leading with 19 points, and Ava Urich, whose game you really like, with 13 points, or excuse me, with 17 points for a season high for the Thunderbirds. Well, that's going to wrap things up from ExtraMile Arena. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank our outstanding crew bringing you the pictures and sounds of this game. Next up for the Broncos, they open the season on the road Wednesday at New Mexico and then Saturday at San Diego State. We will see you back here on the 31st as the Nevada Wolfpack come to town, 2 o'clock Mountain Time on New Year's Eve Day. For Kim Bridges and our entire crew, Mark Schneider thanking you for joining us. Have a great weekend and a great holiday season. Goodbye from Boise, Idaho.